Hey everyone, welcome back to my Inktober series. I'm on day 11 and the prompt is cruel. This prompt suffered a bit of a domino effect since my original idea for roasted was overhauled and stepped on. So I had to think of something else, which was difficult because I had thumbnailed all of these in advance, and some of them have characters that kind of coincide, kind of like to continue their story. In particular, the character that was getting roasted was going to be the one being cruel for the cruel prompt. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I was just kind of bummed out that the characters couldn't make a comeback and continue the story. I thought it might have been kind of a neat thing to bring back. So I made two completely new characters and a different cruel situation altogether. It's kind of a simple drawing today since I've had a few setbacks and wanted to just take this one a little bit easier. I ended up having to skip most of the sketching phase because I'm trying out a new camera and the battery's just not meant for long recording sessions, so it just kept dying on me and I had to really limit what I could actually record, and I wanted to get most of the inking part of it since this is Inktober. I was just not really prepared basically for it with this camera, and it's really slowing me down. I also got tripped up on the scissors for a good long time, and I ended up finally just looking up barber scissors, and they're a lot simpler. It's kind of blasphemy because my brother is a barber, so you would think if I consider scissors, that would be the first thing that springs to mind. I've just been a little bit out of it the past couple days. The prompts really take it out of you. So I've been jokingly calling this one Bishoujou Cruel. They're both kind of pretty characters, and what they're doing is super dramatic and probably for petty reasons. The Bishoujou style works for this because of the simple waist-up shots for them, and I really like looking at Bishoujou art, but I'm not a big fan of drawing in that style. It really fit for the idea of this prompt though. I don't know if the style came across, but it's what I had in mind when I was composing how they were positioned and the background to illustrate what happened. So it's like two girls, one of them is clearly jealous of the other, maybe she's getting back at her for some backhanded compliment, or there's a guy involved. It's Bishoujou, so there's probably a guy involved. So one girl is lashing out at the other by just destroying her hair. I was trying to think of something cruel that I could illustrate happening to another person that wouldn't require too much storytelling. I thought this was pretty cruel without being too difficult. Like, you could just look at the picture and pretty much get an idea of what was going on. Just to add to the cruelty, I cut her face a bit, like the other girl got really close, or maybe she did it too fast. Her hair will probably grow back, but that cut will probably scar. So her hair was up in these cute little buns with small stars kind of decorating them when the other girl cut one of the buns. I'm not completely familiar with how a bad cut would look, and I didn't want to spend hours researching, so I figured this would be sufficient. Buns are kind of looped, so it's kind of like bad layers. I thought the stars would kind of give it that morbid cuteness sprinkled in her lopped off lock of hair. I think teary eyes are also kind of part of that morbid cuteness that's a staple of Bishoujou. Whenever I see Bishoujou art styles, there's always somebody in one of the pictures of the main characters that has these like pearl-like tears just spilling out of their eyes. I guess I'm a little cruel myself because when I decided how her hair was going to be cut, I wanted to make sure it wouldn't be one of those cuts that the next chapter it's just a short, cute haircut. I wanted it to be something that she would have had to have it styled drastically different from what she's used to. But maybe I'm just channeling the scissor girl. I kind of went in heavy with the black for the scissor girl's hair because I wanted her to pop despite being in the background. I really like doing hair like this. It looks really shiny and like her hair is super healthy. You know, maybe that's what they were arguing about. Maybe it's a hair battle. I kind of wanted it to look like a Bishoujou manga cover, or maybe a chapter splash cover. I'd really like to do comics one day. I think I've said it before, but all of my OCs have a story that they belong to, unless it's a fan OC, but I only have one of those, and I guess that's kind of obvious since fan OCs typically belong to an already established story. I ended up just finishing it off with some Copics, and I finally got my refill for neutral gray. But the battery in this camera died, and I just needed to get this prompt done. I hope it's not too annoying that I keep having problems like this. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another. I think I can get this consistent at some point, but I'm pretty sure I'll have better luck with my digital videos. Hopefully you guys aren't too disappointed if the digital ends up outweighing the traditional videos in the future. Finding a way to record traditional media is a little expensive and tedious. and to get the lighting right and just to look polished in general. But anyways, thank you so much for stopping by. It really means a lot that you took the time, and I hope you enjoyed watching me draw some Bishoujou girls being cruel. I'll be back tomorrow with another Inktober video, so I'll see you then. Or maybe not. Bye.